I'm Callie Cook and I'm from Wiley in the Dallas area. So as far as the culture of my hometown, I just feel like Dallas is a very busy and bustling city, and whenever I am outside of the Dallas area, I don't feel the busyness of life, or I don't feel it as much as I do whenever I'm in the Dallas area. And I just feel like there's also a big culture of working really hard and making a name for yourself and keeping up with trends in the Dallas area, and just a lot of big influencers have come from the area and big name people. So that's something interesting about my the culture of my hometown. And something unusual about my hometown is that there are a lot of roundabouts, which are just when you're driving and it's the circle in the middle and you have to drive through the different, you go around the circle and then you can go off different places. So I have those in my neighborhoods and just in other neighborhoods around us. As far as my cultural experiences, as far as travel, a couple years ago in 2018, I had the opportunity to go on a mission trip to Haiti, and that was a very big culture shock for me, and I knew that going into it, but I still wasn't prepared for the shock that I experienced whenever I got there. Just with driving on the very narrow roads. They in Haiti, they have very small roads, and people will fit as many cars as they can onto one road, and they drive on the opposite side, the steering wheel's on the opposite side. So that was interesting. We ate a lot of beans and rice for every single meal, and I got to learn a little bit of the language they speak, which is Haitian Creole. So that was very interesting. As far as relationships, my mom's side of the family is Greek, and so I'm not exactly sure the percentage of Greek that I am, but I know that my great-great-grandma was very Greek, and so whenever we get together and have family gatherings, my grandma will make a lot of Greek food, and we call her Yaya because Yaya means grandma in Greek. So those are just some of the Greek traditions that have been passed down to us. Apart from the Greek side of my family, I also just love Mexican food. So we eat a lot of Mexican food, especially the authentic is best. What interests me about other cultures, I always love learning about the why behind traditions and customs of other cultures. I don't know what it is, but whenever you hear about specific rituals or traditions other cultures have, I always love learning okay, why did that come to be a thing, or who started that, or what's the importance to them, and why do they feel the need to carry on that tradition from generation to generation. So that's always fascinating to me. As far as or also along with that, I love hearing stories that have been passed down. For example, I guess with the Greek gods, I've always thought that was very interesting, and just how those stories came about to where they're different gods for different things, and I think that's cool. If I had to spend a week in another culture, I would say I would spend time in Denmark, which sounds very random, in the Northern Europe side of the world. I've just been reading a lot of books lately about the Danish culture. I'm not just reading about the Danish culture, but it's part of the books that I'm reading, and I just think it's really fascinating learning about how it's always dark over there, and how the Danish people have learned to adopt a way of life that's very just simple and slow, and whenever it's really dark, they turn inwards and they gather with a lot of people, and their life is just very simplistic. And I just wonder what that would look like to have a life that's slowed down, and just to always have people at your house. And I just think that's a really cool culture. So that's a little bit about me.